I saw my microphone pick that up. I do apologize for anyone who is disturbed. I'm eating runts, like the little fruit candies. I love the fruit candies. Honestly, don't even know where you could buy them. These ones are like from Christmas of last year that I never ate. Anyways, let me scroll through my settings really quick. No mods. But yeah, it's from Christmas last year. My sister bought them for me. Because we used to get them a lot when we were younger. Got them in a Ziploc bag. And honestly, completely forgot about it since. Until today, when I found it. Y'all don't realize how stoked I am that I found it. Pretty freaking awesome. Well, welcome guys to another episode of ARK Survival Evolved Hardcore. Today is going to be the day that I start the playthrough that wins. This is going to be the winning playthrough. I have absolutely full confidence in that. No matter what happens, this is the playthrough that wins. So, my goal is going to be, by the end of this episode, I'm going to have Artifact of the Cunning. Oh shoot. I don't know why, but I'm completely screwing up little Tim. It's just shoulders, right? Yeah, that looks right. Are you the one I've been waiting for? No? Okay. My bad. Goodbye. If only that's how that cutscene actually went. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of kick right into it. So sorry if my my commentary isn't, you know, super entertaining or involved. I'm just I'm locking in a little bit. I've gone through this beginning multiple times. I'm pretty dang familiar with it. So yeah, my goal for today is to have Artifact of the Cunning. I'm gonna tame myself a Sarco. Level him up on Explorer Notes over at Carno Island. Level his Sarco saddle. Level 35. Okay, so we got a little ways to go. I know for a fact we can get there. Might take a little bit. My dog is barking. I don't know if that's actually being picked up on OBS or by my microphone. James White, welcome to the stream, dude. What's up, man? Let's grind away. Hell yeah, dude. Today's the day. We start the playthrough that gets us to the end. If this ain't it, I don't know what is. Actually, I think I can probably kill one of these turtles. I just need more spears. There we go. 6 should be enough. I do need wood, actually. Okay. And now I just need a pestle and mortar. So, James, my goal for today is hopefully to have the artifact of the cunning by the end of today. So I expect to tame a Sarco and have it saddled before I'm done for today. It's a little ambitious. I've tried it before and failed absolutely horribly, but I think I could do it. He's level 15, I can do this. Dude. I hear you did the cunning cave and smashed it with your Bassy cave with a strong. I took a Yudi with 4 Megapithecus with helmets and did the strong cave and beat Megapithecus Gamma and Beta. Bro, James, you are locking in over there. Dang, dude. Congrats. I told you, Megapithecus is actually pretty dang easy. We got this spinal fever. Hell yeah. I do 2 of those. There's another turtle over here. There's a trike. I could kill the trike if I had even a slingshot, honestly. There's that guy. Level 65. I can take this guy out. You're worried your Rexes were going to get smashed, but you were fine. Yeah, no, Megapithecus honestly isn't that difficult of a fight. Like, it's one of the easier bosses. Most people will say. Ow. Like, Alpha, don't get me wrong, it is a little bit difficult. But it's not... It's easier than the Alpha Broodmother, is what a lot of people say. And I do agree that Alpha Broodmother definitely kicks your butt way more than Alpha Megapithecus. Stay there for a second. Oh man, what happened? My game crashed. And when I loaded it back up, I immediately fell to my death because it put me back to where I was flying like 100 feet in the air. And by the time I loaded in, I didn't really have enough time to open up my inventory and pull out my parachutes. Oh shoot. So yeah, I ended up losing everything because of that. I did end up, like, I guess using commands and trying to get everything back, but I was like, honestly, this ain't it. I was just coping. How long do I have? 3 minutes. That's not enough time to do anything, really. Where did I place the pestle and mortar? There it is. I'm gonna throw those in there for a moment. Get it back on that file. We don't care. You didn't actually make a mistake. You died of ARK. And you know what? While I understand that it wasn't my mistake, that was crazy. I was not expecting to hit that. That was crazy. But yeah, while I understand that it was not my mistake that happened, part of conquering this game is conquering it as it is, and that includes the absolute broken nature of it. So for me, it just wouldn't feel right if I made the excuse, oh, it was ARK. Because while, yeah, it was ARK, nobody believes it was my fault. I still died. And there were things that I could have done to prevent it from happening. Whether that be parachutes in my hotbar, whether that be realizing that I definitely shouldn't be using the obelisk because the obelisk crashes me pretty dang often. Using commands to at least save my world every so often, because I don't mind the save world command. That just means if I crash, that I'm not going to lose everything. Like, there were things that I could have done. Even if even if the death itself was not my fault. Aw, dang it. I just completely screwed that up. But yeah, even if that death was not my fault, I could have taken preventative measures. Therefore, I will say that it is partially my fault for not taking everything into consideration. And I know it's a very harsh way of, judging my performance, but that's just how I feel about the matter. I was in denial for a little bit, but I eventually kind of came to the conclusion that, yeah, if I succeed, I'm not going to be happy. Because of what happened, I'm not going to be happy. I need to succeed despite ARK. Not excuse, ARK. Not say, oh, it's its fault. Or not excuse ARK, but I guess not blame ARK. I know the game I'm playing. I know how it is. I should work around it. That's what conquering it means. So yes, it's harsh. Yes, nobody believes it's my fault. Not even me. but I will not be happy until I do this without having to pull that kind of shenanigans. I need... That's got another 2 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and kill another couple seagulls, maybe. Honestly, you've been wondering what map you should play next. I'm about to do the dragon fight. Fjorder is really fun. I really like Fjorder. If you want to go chronological, you could do Scorched Earth. That one's always good. My personal favorite is Aberration. But then again, it's a very popular favorite. So I think you might enjoy it. If you like difficulty, you'll enjoy it. What else is there? The Center's a classic. Ragnarok is very highly praised, so you could do that one. You know, there's a lot of options for you. Get the flip over here, seagull. Fjorder is super fun. I see your message, by the way, Sean. Just wanted to know that I've been a motivating factor. I completed the cave today for the first time. Not just one, you did 3. No deaths, max difficulty because of a level 250 Thyla. Well, congrats, dude. That's awesome. You know, the caves are pretty dang fun. I really like the caves. Well, I like some of the caves, I should say. They're pretty easy when you get to know it. When you know the cave, you're never going to run into any difficulty. That's the thing. If you prepare med brews, you will never die to mega rabies. Oh shoot. I did not think that through. Please don't spoil, please don't spoil. Spoil. Oh, I had plenty of time. There it goes. But dude, I'm really glad that you were able to do that. That's awesome. Thylas also just make caves like an absolute breeze. Thylas are amazing for caves. Can I just keep doing the caves over for the drops because they are amazing? Yes, you can. Just know that they take a little while to respawn. I forget how long. But the longer you're in the cave, the more likely they are to respawn. But creatures will also respawn in the caves. So you may have to, you know, if you stay in one area, they won't spawn next to you, but the next time you go into an area that you haven't been in a while, there will be some. You know what I mean? So you definitely can. It's just, you know, you gotta be careful. But yeah, a lot of people farm Swamp Cave because Swamp Cave, even though it has like level 300 creatures, it has some of the best loot drops in the entire game. And so what they'll do is they'll just kind of walk in circles, killing whatever they can with a really good Megatherium, because Megatherium gets the bug craziness and deals insane amounts of damage. And every enemy in there is a bug. So you're constantly buffed, constantly doing extra damage, taking less damage, and you get red drops with Ascendant Rex blueprints. Rex saddles and Rex blueprint or saddle blueprints. I can't speak today. So it is really, really good. Farming caves is definitely good. I want to get some flying dragons, and that eagle hawk thing looks sick. Oh, the fjord hawk or fjord hawk. The fjord hawk is cool. I don't think he does very much. I think if I remember correctly, he can like recover your, like if you die or something, it can recover your stuff and bring it back to you. I never die, so I never got any mileage out of him. That's not true. I did die a lot, but I just never really wanted to go through the process of taming one. I don't know how easy they are to tame. My friend did, but I never did. He loved it. And while that's crafting, I'm going to make... Let's do wood foundation. Kind of going back to what you were or what I was saying, Sean. You can farm them. You can farm them by staying in the cave, which I believe is the way most people do it. And then you could also do it where you're like, you know, going back in, coming out, going back in, coming out. But I think that one's a little bit less efficient, especially if you're doing like Swamp Cave, for instance, where you're gonna get better stuff if you just stay there. Something to note. Also, I wouldn't recommend farming Lava Cave just because it's really easy to fall in lava and lose everything. Unless you're going to bring, you know, at least 3 grappling hooks anytime you're in there. And even that is probably being kind of conservative of materials. Oh, I forgot the hat. Oh, I can't learn the hat. Dang it. I'm gonna make 2 more, and then I'm going to do... Actually, let's do 5 more. Let's do a 3x3 foundation. Oh, there it is. Let's go this way. And there's a wooden raft. Oh, I could have done this on the raft. I could have just been saving the materials or saving the building blocks and then just built this on a raft so I could travel. Dang it. I didn't think far enough ahead. I'll have my shack and then I'll make a raft. Oh, shoot. Actually, no. Never mind that. I'm gonna straight up just... Yeah. Hello, 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 hello. There we go. My brother walked in and asked me if I wanted Taco Bell. It's almost midnight. How many do I have? 6. And then for raft, I need a good amount of other stuff as well. 75 hide. I've got plenty of fiber. And then 250 wood. So let's go get that real quick. Oh, and James, if you're still here, you said that you wanted to get the flying dragons. Yes, they are on Fjordur. I'm pretty sure you're referring to wyverns. They are on Fjordur. They're also on Scorched Earth, Ragnarok. They might be on Valgaro. I'm not too sure. It's been a while since I've watched gameplay of it. And then there's a bunch of different kinds that you can get. Ragnarok, you can get fire and ice ones. Scorched Earth, you can only get the classic 3. You can get a tech one on Genesis Part 2, which is kind of cool, the Void Worm. I'm not a huge fan of them. If, for whatever reason, you have Aquatica, you could get the Water Wyvern. They can't even fly, but they do exist. Why would you make a wyvern when wyverns are like a staple of like the best flyers or some of the best flyers you can get, and then you just take away their ability to fly? That doesn't make any sense to me. That looks right. Let's see. No, I messed that up somehow. Oh, I guess I didn't really do horizontal alignment. Or I did. Oh, but I'm shifting slowly. Okay, so let's get this lined up first. I had it like this, I think, which is... That's good. And then... like right there. That's probably good. Oh, I don't want that one right there, actually. Then I need some more. I should need 3 more, right? Or 2 more. I had 6, so 2 more. Why'd I grab the hide to craft this? Yeah, they look so damn cool. I love balls to the wall, out taming shit on foot like a psycho. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I have no idea what that means. Balls to the wall, taming shit on foot. What does balls to the wall mean? I should probably ask that. Means no traps, you and your bow. Oh, okay. Well, that's what I'm about to do right now, actually. I'm gonna go ahead and tame that trike that was over here. He was level 65, I think. If he's still alive, of course. It's been a minute since I've been over here. He was right here last I saw him. I'm not seeing anything over here. Oh, there he is. Were you level 65? Level 20. Oh. Oh, jeez. Okay, level 20 is 6 crossbow shots. There's 6 shots. Yep, he's gonna run away. Dilo, stop it. There we go. Me and the Dilo kind of teamed up on it. Let's get a storage box. Then Sarco saddle. I don't know if that has to be crafted in a smithy, but I'm pretty sure it requires cementing paste, doesn't it? Sarco saddle. Sarcosuchus saddle. Send 5 fiber to 30 hide, 20 cementing paste. It's inventory. Okay. So honestly, it's pretty easy. Either you get it or you die. I find once you make traps, it's just broken. No danger, no suspense, just acquire, you know? Yeah, no, I feel that. Like, it is kind of boring sometimes to just do it, like, the easiest way. I don't do it on foot because it's easier. I more so do it because I just... Finding making traps is just... It takes too long. And I'm pretty confident in my ability to walk in circles around a creature enough. Because that's all you really have to do. I think I have enough stone in here. No. Now I do, but I'm gonna grab more. Pestle and mortar. I need that. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I don't have the trike saddle. Dang it. I need to level up one more time. Just took a little break, rolled a big. Yes, exactly. I usually put my RG at a safe distance so I don't aggro, but I could still get to it if it jumped while I tame. Oh, there's a Rex over there. That Rex is kind of a danger to my dude. Yeah, RGs are pretty easy to tame. I struggle when it comes to RGs, specifically in taking damage. I can do it without dying just fine, but I do take damage. Rexes I can do just fine, no damage. Like, they're easy. Sarcos, usually I can do them pretty dang easy. I've had some pretty bad ones where I get hit pretty hard. But yeah, RGs I usually get hit a few times. I don't know what the deal is, but I guess I'm not careful enough with them. I find that I have to sprint pretty far away in order to turn around and shoot at him without getting hit. Still haven't seen a Giga yet, but you've seen a Titanosaur. Honestly, Titanosaurs are easier to find. I have the same exact problem. Even if I wanted a Giga, which I usually don't, but even if I did, yeah, I'm usually pretty dang out of luck. Level 22, there's my trike saddle. I don't have enough hide. This will get me enough, though. He's attacking big things over there. Ow. Actually, I'm not going to shoot him very much because I know he's going to kill this Bronto, and when he does, he's just going to heal all the way. Oh, jeez. Yeah, he's going to roar because I'm a player. Level 120. New idea. How many tranquilizers does it take? $141 from a bow. I can work with that, actually. Come here, bud. Follow me this way. Yes. Attack him. I tried looking around all the mountains and still nothing. I find even when I have mods that help me find like creatures like Dino Finder Deluxe or whatever it's called, Creature Finder Deluxe, Gigas, there's only ever like 1 or 2 of them on the map at one time. You can get a guaranteed one in the tech cave, but you can't tame it. What is that? That's a dead dolphin. Okay. Starting over again. Sorry, I haven't been here a while. Well, welcome, Kane. Welcome back, dude. Yes, I'm starting over. Long story short, my playthrough ended abruptly because my game crashed. And by the time I reconnected, it brought me back while I was, flying around on my RG. And so I ended up, eating the ground. So, yeah, it didn't really work out. Of course, it wasn't really my fault, but in my humble opinion, I believe conquering ARK involves conquering it with glitches. Yeah, what's the deal with the tech cave and overseer boss? What do you mean, what's the deal with it? Like, what is it? Do you not know what it is? Or are you saying, like, what's the deal with there being a Giga inside of there? The Giga in there is just because it's, one of the final challenges that you have to face is you have to somehow get to the Overseer boss through a Giga. You know what I mean? If you're saying what's the deal with the tech cave as in you don't know what the tech cave is, you haven't seen it. Oh, you don't know anything about it. Gotcha. So the tech cave. The tech cave is found inside the volcano. The tech cave is the final challenge for the survivor. Accessing it requires one of every single boss trophy of a singular difficulty. And depending on the difficulty, it will require more items, more trophy items, like any other boss. So for Gamma, it costs just the trophies, all 3 Gamma trophies. For Beta, it requires all Beta trophies as well as all terrestrial Alphas trophies. So Alpha Raptor, Alpha Carno, Alpha Rex. And then Alpha Tech Cave requires all 3 Alpha trophies and as well as every single terrestrial Alpha and every single aquatic Alpha. So the aforementioned 3, then Alpha Megalodon, Teeth, Alpha Mosasaur, Alpha Tuzo, Alpha Lead Sickness, all 4 of those. So once you're in the tech cave, imagine kind of like the lava cave, except it's big enough for there to be Rexes, Aloes, Eutyrannus, Carnos, Microraptors, Perlovia, Arthropleura, Megalosaurus, Therazinos. What else is there? There's more than just that, but that's all I can think of at the moment. Damn, may they ask for a lot of stuff? Oh, 100%. But basically, every single creature you could even consider dangerous, they live inside of the tech cave as well. Including a whole freaking Giga at the end, depending on the difficulty. Gamma, I don't think there is a Giga. Beta, there is a Giga. And Alpha, I think there's 2 Gigas. So it's incredibly hot because, you know, it's basically the lava cave, just imagine bigger. Once you get to the very end, though, you enter a region that's extremely cold. First you're in extreme heat, then you're in extreme cold. You travel down a hallway completely devoid of creatures until you reach this terminal. In this terminal, you use it, you interact with it, it will, just like when you're spawning a boss, it'll begin to create a dome around you to teleport you. You then teleport into what's essentially a space station. And in the space station, there's a lot of cool lore stuff that I won't spoil, especially if you don't know anything about it. But after you get to this point, you then encounter the Overseer. The Overseer is the final boss of the island. And the Overseer is, in my opinion, one of the easier bosses on the island. The thing that makes him difficult is that you have to get through the entire or one of the things that make him difficult is you have to get through the entire tech cave. So you have to get through literal armies of every single dangerous creature you have ever seen, and some you haven't probably seen, like Gigas. You have to get to the very end of it all and still have an army strong enough to take on one last boss. And that's the final challenge of the ARKs. Once you do that, you ascend. And when you ascend, that's basically, lore-wise, you're traveling to a new ARK. Gameplay-wise, it means you get a few extra levels. Or it increases your maximum levels. So if you do it on Gamma, you get 5 extra levels, so you can get up to level 110. If you do Beta, you can get up to 115. And then if you do Alpha, you can get up to 120. So it's plus 5, plus 10, or plus 15. God damn, eh? I know. It is a lot. I will admit. That I'm not... And that's the thing. I'm not even, like, sharing everything with you, because I don't want to spoil it. Obviously, I have spoiled some of it. But that's enough for you to understand the main gist of it. Tech cave, full of creatures. Very dangerous. You get out of the tech cave. Space station. In the space station, final boss, Overseer. Overseer, you beat him. You beat the map. That's about everything you need to know. So when you hear me saying that I need to prepare, I need to prepare a lot for the Overseer. It's true. You need to prepare a lot. I'm hoping I only ever have to make 1 Rex army, because if I have to make 2 Rex armies, or if I have any Rexes die, I will probably have to breed more Rexes at the end of it all. And that just freaking sucks. I don't want to have to breed more of an army for the Overseer, because most of my army died fighting the dragon. You know what I mean? That's why I do want an army that's pretty dang good. Even if not, amazing, just good enough to do that. Or do enough Do all that kind of stuff. First time ascending, you won't forget. Oh, 100%. Dude, ascending is so cool, especially the first time you do it. Especially if you do it without having it spoiled. Like how the cutscene looks, how, you know, the whole thing works. It's amazing. I unfortunately did, but my friend who I played with, he didn't. Because like I've said before, he played solely PvP. And so doing that, he's like, dude, what? It's really cool. I would highly recommend it. I need more spoiled meat for more narcotics. Not gonna lie, on the Cave of the Strong, all your mounts died on the way out from getting stuck in the water. I left them behind before stuff started respawning. I mean, it was before stuff started respawning, so I honestly don't blame you. You were just trying to get the hell out of there. Oh shoot, I just realized I have raw meat in my inventory. Wait, what? Those are all the arrows I had, really? Motherfucker. I missed and he was just standing still. Oh, it's because I dropped... Duh. Gonna throw those on the ground, pick up the one that's almost spoiled, then pick up everything else. So then that way, I keep that spoiling timer. That should be enough for the Rex. Gonna go pike, crossbow, because those are always two really good things to learn. You farm the shit out of rare flowers in the swamps, so Perlovias can't dismount you. Do rare flowers, like, take them out of the ground? I didn't actually know that. If they do, that's pretty dang cool. Good to know. I thought you said that you went in with a U-tie. Yeah, you took a U-tie. You could have just fear roared. From what I've heard, fear roaring scares them out of the ground. I know logically that doesn't make sense, but that's what I've heard. No, but they can't dismount you after you eat them. Fair enough. But yeah, dude, the final challenge of the arcs of this arc, I guess, the tech cave and all of that, it's honestly amazing. Like, it is really freaking fun. The island is super fun. I loved it. Why does it say episode 1? Because this is episode 1. Can't you tell that I'm on a raft with really crappy stuff, working my way up? I unfortunately died. That's what happened. I died and I lost everything. So is, you know... So is hardcore ARK Survival Evolved. That's just how it be. So I just gotta work my way up. Doing it all again. You're on your UD, yes, but you stayed behind your Megapithecus army and encouraged roared to victory. I mean, that's fair. But anytime you ran into the Perlovias, you still could have fear roared to drag them out of the ground and then, you know, pushed forward. That would have worked as well. I mean, to each their own. I ain't judging. Personally, I would have just used the UD to fear roar if I had the UD in there anyways. But, yeah. You never do that? Well, there you go. Now you know. I honestly haven't done it myself, so I couldn't even, like, tell you if for sure it worked. I just know that that is a common strategy people do. Like, it is a common strategy. People talk about going in with their UDs all the time to get them out of the ground. I personally go in with just a Rex, or just a few Rexes and a rocket launcher. Even though I know the UD would work just fine, I would rather be on the Rexes, and because of that, I find the rocket launcher just a better option. Since I could just, you know, hop off the back and start shooting from there. That's my preference. But yeah, bro, I ended up dying. Long story short, my game crashed while I was at an obelisk, and I loaded my save file back in on stream, and it loaded me back to while I was mid-air on my RG, and I fell to my death. So, we're trying again. That's probably good. And then I would like to repair this. Perfect. At one point I came into the room and 3 Perlovias pounced at me at once. Thank God for the flowers. I mean, if the flowers do really pull them out of the ground, then that's that's very helpful. That's very useful information. I've never known that. So that is really good to know. Level 29. I learned metal spikes. Did I even learn regular spikes? Where were regular spikes? Oh. Duh. Stimulants I'll need. I don't need them for anything in particular, except... Well, I need them for something in particular, but I don't need them for, like, drinking. I need them for one day I'm gonna be making some respec soup. Or as the common man says, mind wipe tonics. The only reason why I call them respec soup is because that's what they're called in the internal game files. So if you're using the the GFI command to give yourself some, you type in GFI respec soup. I've used it a lot in my my creative mode worlds. Very useful command. I'm gonna take some stim berries with me just in case. And then my water skins just in case. And I'm going to eat these berries here. And I'm going to go in with these berries, just in case. I am a little bit over halfway, so technically my health is slightly lower than it could be. But honestly, not a noticeable amount. For those of you that don't know. Any amount above 50%, your maximum weight, is considered too much for your character to handle. And he is slightly heavy. Oh, the flowers prevent them from dismounting you from your mount. They naturally aggro you once you at a certain distance. Yeah, they aggro you, they come out of the ground, and then they run at you. Yeah, that is really good to know. I always thought that even if you did that, they would still pounce at you. I don't need that, actually. They would still pounce at you and, like, dismount you. Oh, that's a Tech Rex. Oh, really? Little prick. Where'd you go? Oh, geez. Bug. Where'd that 120 Rex go? Really? And cutting cave was so intense. You scraped a 150 Mosa and 2 Tusos. I was like, damn, and like 20 sharks. That's an Alpha Raptor. And raptors. Dude, I spent all this time preparing for this Rex tame. And now the Rex is nowhere to be found. Crap! Oh, he didn't aggro me. Oh, that scared the living hell out of me. Jeez Louise. Oh my gosh. Now this dude's giving me a heart attack for no reason. You know, that cunning cave is absolutely terrifying. Luckily, it's not that bad. If you aren't fighting through it head on. But it's still scary because you've got to, like, run past everything. And you can still very easily... I usually scrape past the, Really, dude? I usually end up scraping past, like, what are they called? Actually, I got this. Sorry, I'm distracted. It's hard to talk while I'm distracted. The electric eels. Those guys are a huge pain in the butt. Damn, that's a heart attack and a half Spino season. Dude, I know. What the flip? Vox Fizz, welcome to the stream, dude. What happened? Why did I restart? A very unfortunate turn of events. Hopefully that Spino doesn't aggro my trike. But long story short, my game crashed. I came back to consciousness, and it had reverted my save file back to when I was flying on my RG. And because I was flying on my RG, I fell to my death. Aw, dang it. Okay. So we back at the beginning. Dude, this Rex, this Tech Rex, I want to know what level he is. Okay, but I did get the Rex that I want. That's good. At least his attention. I don't want the Tech Rex, though. Or maybe I do. Maybe I do, and I just don't know. Rather, why not just use commands? Because I want to conquer ARK. Despite its BS. Not blame the BS. I want to succeed despite the BS. Everybody fully knows that ARK will BS you. That's just a given fact. But can you win despite ARK's BS? That's my goal. I'm winning despite ARK's BS. So ARK will BS me. I'm going to win even if it does. That's the dream. Damn, man. ARK literally ended your success. I know. And it's going to. That's a part of the game. Because just as much as I say it over and over again, at nighttime when it's dark, there are so many YouTubers who will just gamma up because they find it annoying. But I believe that nighttime is a part of the survival challenge. It just is. And so, you know, gamma, are you saying gamma is okay because darkness is annoying? I think that's just completely unfair to the survival challenge itself. Part of the game is, you know, making fire so that you can see at night. That's part of the game. Unfortunately, the way the game is, how broken it is, that's just a part of how it is. ARK Survival Evolved is a broken game. Therefore, the brokenness is just a part of it. And I'm going to win despite how broken it is. I'm going to beat the game exactly how it is. Not for how I wish it was. Which is, you know, in a playable state. Jeez, that was a really bad decision. I had to scratch my ear. That just put the fear of God in my heart. Literally 2 bites and I'm done. That just like really upped the stakes because now I realize how screwed I am if something goes wrong. If I mess up even a tiny bit. It's a good thing I made 3 bows. Wait, do the bows only shoot 40? No, they shoot 50. Okay. That one was just... Oh, right, that one was slightly damaged. That's right. I completely forgot about that. But yeah, we're still thriving. Even though ARK wants to tear me down, I get back up. What movement speed do I have for this taming method? I always go up to 121% because it allows me to outrun raptors. And it's just a nice even level. It's 14 level points into movement speed. Wait, no, it's... Yeah, it is. It's 14 levels in movement speed. That, and it also rounds it out, so you get 90 levels in every other stat, so everything else is like a multiple of like 50 if you do it all nicely. So 120 is usually the goal. However... Yes, it does allow me to do this, where I just walk to the right, and even if I, like, had a crossbow, I could be reloading and shooting. If I had tranq darts, I could be reloading and shooting. It's, like, it's incredibly safe. So long as you keep on going to the right, and keep on walking, or walking to the right and pointing to the left. I'm not touching W or S. This movement speed will also allow you to stab Sarcos in the thigh and kill them on foot, so long as you're careful. I find that 121 is a very comfortable movement speed. We're gonna roar again. Just don't get too close, because they will screw you up if you get too close. Or if you get too far, then they will also screw you up. But you can see, like, I've gotten kind of far and they haven't been able to bite me. If you see, if I get a little bit closer, you see how much closer its face is getting. All it takes is the mesh to like push me around just the wrong way and I'm dead. How many arrows did I have before this? I forget. I don't know. I'm just gonna sink as many as I can. I feel like I had 140 something. Maybe like 146 or something? I don't remember. But if I had 146 or above, I have put in enough. I think. I don't remember. This is something you did not know. There's a lot of things that that a lot of people don't know. Been playing since 2018. Yeah, you don't even see YouTubers doing this who have been playing since the beginning. There are a lot of things that you can do that nobody knows about because nobody pushes the game to its limits. This is how I love playing games. I love playing games and pushing them to their limits. However, he's not going unconscious. I'm getting a little bit uncomfortable because maybe I didn't sink enough tranquilizers in him, which is a scary idea. I don't know what he's doing right now. Nope, there he is. Finally, dude. I was starting to freak out. I was like, why aren't you going down? Why aren't you going to sleep? I forget how slow bow tranquilizers are to knocking things unconscious. Actually, do I have more narcotics? I do. Let's go like that. Just so I can craft a little bit more as needed. 3, 4, 5. That should be enough. I'm going to now go back in the stream real quick, see how many tranquilizers I had made. Gosh dang it, the quality is so horrible. I had 145. So I have put in 145. No, 146, 147, 148, 149, I think. Because I had all 3 bows loaded. Yeah, 148. So because I had 148 and I put all of them in there, he should go unconscious sometime soon. Where did he go? I don't know where he went. Hopefully not in the water. Oh no, there he is. I need some more fiber. I don't need that many bows, so I'm just gonna toss that one, honestly. And then this one I'm going to convert to my regular arrow bow. I am gonna need to stock up on more arrows, though. Dude, can you go to sleep, please? You just read the comments on the speedrun and people were so hateful for no reason. Yeah. And I was 15 at the time. And so I took it pretty harshly. That's why if you read some of the ones that I responded on, it sounded like I was crying like a little squeaker. I was crying like a little squeaker because I was a squeaker at the time. It was a lot of people because in the when I did the speedrun, there were a lot of things wrong with the game. There are already things wrong with the game, but there was a lot of things wrong with the game that aren't wrong with the game anymore. One of those being, where is the Rex? Why is he still awake? This is bothering me. There he is. He unloaded. Because he unloaded, does that mean all the the torpor's not rising anymore? Gosh dang it. I don't actually know if that's how that works, but I'm just gonna kill it. But one of the things that were broken about the game was artifacts. They wouldn't spawn in single player until like, did I hit him after? No, I did not, thank God. But artifacts would not spawn until after like 15 minutes of the 15 to 20 minutes of the world being loaded. So I spent a lot of time like gathering resources and stuff. There were a lot of people saying, well, why didn't you just go straight for the artifacts? Well, because they were broken. A lot of like speedruns that came afterward changed that, where they would use commands to spawn it in, but because it wasn't broken in that they wouldn't spawn, I thought it was cheating. A lot of people did not call out those people. But there was one artifact that was broken, and that was the artifact of the Sky Lord. It was broken for a long time. Basically, in single player, it would not spawn naturally. The only ones that would spawn, well, every artifact would spawn naturally except for that one for some reason. So that one I had to use commands to spawn in order to even finish the run. The amount of people calling me a cheater for that is ridiculous. The amount of people calling me a cheater for using increased rates, which I was even bothered by the rates, if I'm being completely honest. But that's how it was established before I even speed ran it. So that's just what I used. A lot of people were mad about that. What else? There was the rates, there was the artifact, there was just the fact that the fact that I instantly was level 105 bothered a lot of people. They're all, does anybody actually notice that this guy didn't even work for anything? The point was, how fast can you beat the game? A lot of people calling it, well, yeah, obviously you can beat it fast when you have every command at your fingertips. No. I didn't have every command at my fingertips, but okay, bud. I can kill that alpha, actually, for the, all the primate that I need. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, no, I totally get where you're coming from. Like, I know that it's not coming from a place of malice or trying to bring up the past. But yeah, it's just, that's how people were. It is what it is. You know how the internet is. As a child, I took it kind of harsh. And I was all about it. But gave me a few years, honestly, I stopped caring as much. And it was still a legitimate run. I don't really care what people say. That was legitimate at the time, therefore, that's what I'm going to say it is. I want the raptor. Can I please have the raptor's attention? Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Okay. That was a horrible idea. That was a horrible idea. I forgot it was a level 20 trike when I tamed him. Shoot. I don't think we're getting that artifact, guys. I don't think we're getting that artifact. Dang it. Okay. Okay, take two. Take two. Don't worry. Take two. And dude, I just got that 120 Rex. Dang it. I forgot alpha raptors, or just alpha creatures in general, will make everything aggro on you. Had I known that, I wouldn't have done it. Or had I remembered, I wouldn't have done that. Pain. G. Oh, 100%, dude. Back to square one. I was already at square one, honestly. Okay, this one. This is not going to be Lil Tim. I'm going to try something new. Maybe this will make me succeed. This will be... Alright, Tim Pequeño.
Are you the...
Of course, I don't have access to Enye, so I can't actually just write Pequeño. But Tim Pequeño. Let's try Tim Pequeño. Damn, man, no. I know. I know. It's unfortunate. Artifact of the Cunning today is not happening. Had I not been an idiot, it would have happened today, I think. I still had a good chance, but alas. Actually. Vibro while those things craft. That was funny, though. Dude, that shredded me so fast. Holy crap, I didn't realize... Aw, dang it. I didn't realize how fast I would... Well, it was, yeah, an alpha boosted Spino. An alpha boosted Spino and an alpha... of which I did not know the levels of. Had I known the levels, Well, no, the spinal was level 70, wasn't it? Which, now that, you know, I watched myself get torn apart, it makes sense, especially because he was alpha boosted. Honestly, I was hoping the rivalry buff from the trike would be more than enough to counteract the alpha buff. Part of me was actually kind of hoping that the spinal would stay around so I would continue to get the rivalry buff. But I realize now that, yeah, no, the spinal would just, you know, make things harder for me. Y'all did not see that miss. Nobody saw that. We're all tied for the chat XP leader. Oh, not anymore, I guess. You say that, and then immediately you're put to level 3. Or you're put to level 2. Voxfit is level 3, and Kane's level 1. But you were level 1 a second ago, African, so what happened? I still don't understand how that crap works. I've still tried, like, going back and figuring out what this means. But all it tells me is that all of you guys have 70, or a lot of you guys have 75 XP. Even you, African, you have 75 XP. So I don't know why all of you guys have 75, but it just chooses someone at random to be first, second, and third, and then it'll change it throughout your guys' messages. Like, the actual audacity of YouTube. Also, random question. How many of you guys actually understand the title of this video? I'm hoping everyone. Because the irony of the title of the video, as well as that happening to me, is actually really funny to think about. And I'm really hoping I'm not the only one that gets it. And yeah, Thatch Foundation. Like, it's a retarded joke, but I think it's really funny. Actually, it's a stupid joke, but I think it's funny. I mean, because I'm on YouTube, I can't say that, I don't think. Isn't it considered a slur now? It was never a slur growing up. And I was born in 2003. Like, that's... Isn't it weird how words can evolve into vulgarity like that? Very much so. Yeah. I don't understand how, like, words evolve into vulgarity. Like, yes, it happens, but why? Oh my gosh, these guys just killed a Sarco and a trike. That's awesome. Wow. This Sarko got a few bites off of him first. But yeah, it was never a slur, it was never a vulgar word when I was a kid. And I would hear it everywhere. I don't know what the flip happened. I missed out on something. But out of nowhere, the internet just started going crazy about people saying that word. Level 20. And level 50. Okay. Actually, I'm not going to do this yet. I'm going to wait until my meat spoils. Dude. Bola's level 9? Yeah. There's Sarko over here. There's not a Sarko, but there is a turtle. And turtles are pretty easy XP. $115. I'm gonna be here a while. Oh, this is much easier. Hey, Xander. How many resets are you on? Couldn't tell ya. I've honestly lost count. I used to have a little attempt counter at the top, but then I decided, you know what? No, this is the run. I don't need an attempt counter. And now look at me. I have one more minute. Oh, that's gonna be a little bit quick and easy stuff. Quick and easy spoiled meat. Should have a note run. Honestly, that's not a bad idea. But I don't know any note runs. And I'm pretty sure the northern area, which is where I am right now, doesn't have very good note run routes. And I don't really feel like resetting. Even though I haven't gotten far, I'm already kind of attached to Tim Pequeno. Tim Pequeno. It's slightly different from my usual variation of Lil Tim. Therefore, he's special to me. And unfortunately, Spanish is the very last language that I know how to say small in. So I couldn't even like switch it to another language and say, oh, this one is new. I only have Tim Pequeno and Lil Tim. You're running away from something. I kind of want to see if I can tame it. All right, where'd he go? There he is. Did I read that message? I'm scared for Scorched Earth after this. I have not played it completely through. Are you talking about for your own playthrough or for my playthrough? Because honestly, Scorched Earth is a really easy map. Kind of. So, early game Scorched Earth is very difficult because you're on foot and you're butt naked. There are saber-tooths, raptors, terror birds, aloes, all of that nonsense. Pretty much everywhere you can spawn. For mine, yeah, so at the very beginning, it is fairly dangerous. There is a lot of nonsense that wants to kill you right out the gate. Not good. However, once you're actually built up, you have at least a creature that can defend you. It's one of the easiest maps. One of, if not the easiest map. All of the caves are incredibly simple. Honestly, a single Thyla would be more than enough to get you from beginning to end in all of them. There's only one where I would slightly worry, and it's because it does force you on foot, and you have to do a little... Oh, you can get past it by using cryopods. But once you're on foot, you can fall into a ledge with some rock golems, and those are scary. And then there's another one where there's a lot of water. And if you're not careful, there are also rock golems in that one as well. And they can be kind of scary, but so long as you're, dodging them, just going straight to the end, you're pretty dang safe. All the caves are super easy. And then the boss battle is definitely the easiest of, all of the maps. And he's the only boss of the map. There's only one boss, that's Manticore, and the biggest danger in that boss fight is the fact that his attacks deal torpor. So there is a chance that you fall asleep. And if you fall asleep, you die. If your Rexes fall asleep, that's one less Rex in your army fighting the boss. And he also spawns like rock golems and stuff in the boss fight, so kind of scary. But honestly, not that bad. More so scary if you're unprepared or you don't know what you're getting into. I got destroyed early game many times. I just switched to Rag. Yeah, Rag is way easier. It's way easier because you have the grasslands to spawn in. But when you're on, you know, Scorched Earth, you don't have that luxury. Scorched Earth, you have a spawn area that's instant death, or you have a spawn area that's instant death. Or alternatively, if you don't feel like either of those two options fit your playstyle, there is immediate death, which is different. Trust me. But yeah. Honestly, the map itself is pretty easy. It's just those are the biggest threats. And then you do have to have Wyvern Talons to spawn the boss. It's like 2 for Gamma, 5 for Beta, 10 for Alpha. So I have to kill at least 2 of each flavor Wyvern. And then Beta, it's 5 of every flavor, then 10 of every flavor for Alpha. Which is relatively easy. All it takes is a little minigun turret or a little auto turret and your own little gun to draw attention to yourself. I'm not going to be taming a wyvern or anything. It's just not really worth it. Very high risk, very little reward, especially because I won't be carrying that into my next playthrough. And wyverns are not good for the boss fight. Because you are allowed to bring flyers into the boss fight with Manticore. But Manticore, if he detects that you have flyers, he's much less likely to actually allow you to, or he's a lot less likely to land. Therefore, your Rexes won't have the chance to even do much damage. So, all in all, just not worth it. Boy, I love me flavored wyverns for dinner. Hell yeah. I honestly don't know what to call them. Like, types of wyverns? Subspecies? Flavors. Flavors is a really good word for that. Even if it's not accurate, it's just it's a flavorful word. See, there it is. Flavor. And this guy gives me infinite food, which is really nice. That's the nice thing of any early game herbivore. Infinite food. Let's get that bow. that stuff. Level 15, heck yeah. Hide. And then we're gonna go hide armor. Raft is 18? 16. Oh, that's next level. I can actually start gathering for that now. You wish they had official hardcore on Ascended? I don't know if they do. I don't even know if they've ever had it on Evolved. This is just single player. Dude, I don't need your help. Yeah, I don't even know if they've ever had official hardcore, I'm not gonna lie. I've always just played single player because I'm not a huge fan of the servers in this game, of any of the servers that have ever existed, whether it be official or unofficial. But also, I don't recognize your name, so welcome to the stream. If you are new, welcome. I hope you stick around. We have a pretty good time here. If you're not new here, I do apologize that I've forgotten your name. Do you ever play World of Warcraft? I have not, honestly. You think I'm a nerd who plays nerdy games like that? MMOs? No. No. I play Guild Wars 2. Far less nerdy. Pretty dang nerdy. But no, I never got into World of Warcraft, honestly. That one was kind of before my time playing MMOs, because I have played MMOs. It's just that one in particular, that was before I was even like interested in them. I'm 21, but I had limited internet access. I had to go through a lot of channels to play any MMOs. And the ones that I played, like I said, Guild Wars 2, but that was kind of a while into it. Broken drink? I'm drinking right now. Some of that sweet, sweet nectar that is H2O because I'm healthy. But yes, I can drink. If you go by the definition of just drink, then yeah, I've been able to drink a while. But if you're talking about alcohol specifically, yeah, for a lot of my streams, I will be drinking some kind of alcohol. Most of the time, it's either a Jack and Coke or a Crown and Coke. Or just Coke. If neither of those things, it's water or just Coke. Today's a very unique day. I don't have Coke. I have Pepsi. Pales in comparison, but still pretty good. Really? Voxvids. Did you just say your own name? Oh. You might have been responding to what kind of nerd plays World of Warcraft. I mean, if you play WoW, by all means, dude, enjoy it. I just never really got into it. I played Guild Wars 2. I played a little bit of SWTOR. ARK Age, my brother really got into, and I've tried it a couple times. Could never enjoy it. Oh, you don't play WoW? Then why were you asking if I played WoW? I assumed you were asking me because you played WoW. I guess I am making assumptions. I apologize. Very random, but WoW community seems crazy. I don't really know much about the WoW community. I don't hear much from them. The most I have heard from them was the whole thing with pirate software. But that's really it. Because there was the controversy from him dipping during the hardcore dungeon or whatever, and then saying he was out of mana even though he had like potions to restore his mana. That kind of stuff. Unexpected combo. We have a lot of unexpected combos. Level 80 Triceratops. How many tranquilizers would that take? 16? That's not a lot. It would take 22 minutes to tame. 0 narcotics. Let's look at what that other trike is. If the other trike's higher, I might do that. Wow. I didn't even notice the joke. That flew completely over my head. Holy crap. I didn't even, like, realize. I thought you were just saying, wow, that was unexpected. I was like, I don't know what was unexpected about it, but okay, dude. I'm like, sure. But now I just feel stupid. Oh no. Oh, the other trike is coming. You're supposed to have stopped by now. There we go. 3, 4, 5, 6. Foot. Nope. 7, 8, 9, 10. Need 16. 11. 12. Jeez. 13. 14. 15. 16. That's enough. This guy's level 10. I'll kill him. F3 says 67. Dude, I love that number. Holy crap. How'd you know 67 was one of my favorite numbers? I'm kidding. I don't know why you said 67. What is 67? I'm curious. Oh, Voxvids is out of here. Well, dude, thank you for coming and hanging out. Just chilling in chat. Hope to see you again soon, dude. Have a good night. Take care. Oh. Oh, you're talking about 6-7. You see, I don't have TikTok. I've never actually like downloaded TikTok ever. I don't have an account. So the whole 6-7 meme, when that like became a thing, I'm gonna be completely real with you. I was really confused for a while. And I still am kind of confused. I don't really get the concept. All I know is that people find it funny. It's like the modern day 6-9, you know? Like you say and people are just like 6-7, 6-7, and then they quote something. I don't know what they're saying, but they quote something. Good for you, bro. Well, thank you. I feel as though I've been spared personally. Whether that's true or not, I do feel as though I've been spared. Obviously not by the internet. I've been on the internet long enough to have seen plenty of things. But when it comes to like TikTok and memes, I have been spared. Because TikTok is not... It's not a safe place. It is a very unsafe place. How many Majo berries do I need? 50? I can do that. It's some basketball shit. I don't know either. Oh. I don't know. They just keep on saying like 6-7. Like my brother's friends, like my brother and his friends will quote it and I'll hear it. They'll just be like 6-7, 6-7. I don't really get it. Maybe it makes sense. I'm gonna look up 6-7 meme meaning. Alright guys, we're gonna learn something. Is your child walking around your house answering all questions with the word 6-7? Are you deeply confused as to what it means? The Today.com team is here to help. Wait, what? It just says that it has so little meaning that it could be used in a wide variety of ways that ultimately it doesn't make sense even to the user. So it's like skibbity. Aw, dang, I forgot to split the meat. Because I was looking at 6-7. But it's like skibbity then? Because skibbity doesn't even have a meaning. I don't know. I think you should try a different approach, and that is the no run, then tame an RG with the fast method, but it run, feed it carcass, then KO it when the buff is on, instant tame. I did not even, like... I read that, but I didn't even process it. Hold on. You should try a different approach, and that is a note run, then tame an RG with the fast method. When it run, feed it a carcass, then KO it when the buff is on. Instant tame. No. That doesn't work. I think I understand what you're saying. That's not how that works. An RG when it begins to run, it will not eat food because it won't even attack in the first place. And so if you torpor it enough that it starts running away, there is no way to feed it. You would have to feed it shortly before it, like a half second before it torpor runs. And even then, even with a crossbow, I don't know if I have enough firepower to get it down on the ground. Even with, I don't think I have enough torpor to get it onto the ground in time. Maybe I do and I just don't know. But the buff doesn't tame the creature. All the buff does is increase health and stamina regen. It does not decrease food, or it doesn't increase food starvation. So it will as it attacks randomly, not when it's running away. When it's running away, when creatures run away, they will never attack a creature. They will run away from every fight they could possibly get into because they're in a runaway phase. So that's just not possible. You would have to get them to eat something before they get to that runaway phase. And if they eat, even if it's like half a second before the runaway phase, that buff only lasts like 15 seconds. I don't think there's any narcotics that can tranquilize him in 15 seconds from beginning to end of starvation. Please tell me that did not hit the trike. Need to trap it with Stone Gate, and when it has the buff mode, it is hungry. You can see that I usually does it in official. No, they don't get hungry when that buff is on. So RGs are basically vultures. And the reason why they chase after corpses is because they're carrion feeders. They just eat corpses. So they're not eating because they're hungry. They're eating because that's just how they're programmed to do it. The buff, what it does is it's basically just a passive thing. Because they're vultures, they have a unique ability that makes them, have a special buff when they eat dead bodies because they're vultures. That's all there is to it. And that buff specifically increases health and stamina regeneration. It has nothing to do with actual starvation. The food stat is completely separate from an RG's regeneration mechanic. Why? I don't know, but it is. Because the food is tied solely to food items. Whereas a creature just running around and killing stuff, all it's doing is killing stuff and consuming the body. It doesn't actually have an inventory. Well, it does. But it doesn't have an inventory that gains meat. And it doesn't have a food stat that goes down. It's only once it's unconscious that food actually starts draining. So what you're suggesting when it comes to instant tame is technically possible, but that doesn't work the way you're thinking. The way it works is you have to tranquilize the creature, and then you have to walk away, and then let them wake up. Because when they wake up, if they have not starved to death, by the way, if they wake up, their food stat stops draining, right? But their food stat stays where it is. So if you tranquilize them again, their food stat will already be low because they starved from the last time they were unconscious. And so you could just throw in 20,000 meat and they'll instant tame. But you still have to wait for it either way. It's just better to do it when you tranquilize them the first time. Some people will wait to put food in their inventory until after that, or until after they have starved enough, so that way they can get the instant tame without wasting meat or berries, especially if it's like 50 prime meat. It's better to just collect 50 prime meat and throw it all in at once than it is to gather it throughout, because it spoils in 18 minutes in a creature's inventory. But no, that's not a bad idea of doing a note run and then taming the RG as soon as possible. That is a really good strategy to, skyrocket yourself. The problem is I don't know of any Explorer note runs. I'd have to do some independent research. And from there, you got to find an RG anywhere. Note runs are incredibly dangerous, and they only really work if you are pumping the right stats. I need to pump stats that are good for this speed run, because I cannot just die and be comfortable. If I die, I'm dead. See the link above? There is no link above. You can't post links in chat, if that's what you're saying. Anyways, I got to go back to what you guys were saying. But if you tell me what the video is called, I can pull it up and check it out. I had to get someone to explain it to me, and they said this or that, like apples and oranges. Yeah, it's basically Skibbity 6-7 started from a random kid being corny and screaming 6-7 in a basketball game. 67 came from a basketball player saying it. They hit 6 or 7 free throws and someone put it in a song. Yeah, it blew it up when the kid said it. Before that. Yeah, I guess you're right. I haven't done much research. Huh. Oh, shoot. Again, it was because... I didn't even get all of it because it's the same thing. I was reading about freaking 6-7. Both times I read about 6-7, I missed my spoiled meat. Granted, part of that was me explaining how creature taming works. But still, it was the freaking 6-7 at the end. That's what screwed me up. Search instant tame. It's... honestly, dude, it's not going to be there. I know ARK mechanics well enough to know that don't work like that. Maybe I'm very open to being wrong, which is why I'm looking it up. Hey, F3, let's not talk about that kind of stuff. Please. Please and thank you.
Did you know?
Ah, that's loud. I'm going to mute that because I don't want to get copyright struck. RG Insta-Tame. Actually, I'm just going to mute my desktop audio for a second so you guys can't hear it, but I can. So a lot of people are saying that it's true. I'm incredibly on the fence about that because that doesn't even sound like, that doesn't even make sense according to ARK mechanics. The only reason why I say that doesn't make sense is because the regeneration buff has absolutely nothing to do with it. Like, genuinely, absolutely nothing to do with their actual food stat. So I'm just confused as hell by that. Also consider the video, at least the video that I watched, he had a journeyman's what's it called? Long neck, and I'm pretty sure he's shooting him with shocking tranks. I don't have anything like that. I don't think I can do that with a crossbow. Well, according to the video and according to you, it has to be unconscious when it has the buff, because it happens so low, or because the buff happens after he eats something. It cannot be while he's running away. Dude. I forget the command. Motherfucker. Nope, not rifle. It's a one-shot rifle, of course. GFI, one-shot rifle, 10. Let's grab that 660. I like that. Drop all. GFI, or no, let's go summon Parasaur underscore character underscore BP underscore C. I'm not messing that up, am I? I'm not messing that up, so I don't know why it's not working. Parasaur. Oh wait, forgot that one. Parasaur. What the flip is the code for Parasaur? Never mind. What's another easy dodo? Underscore character underscore BP underscore C. There we go. That wasn't good. You think Parasaur's just para? Probably. There we go. Hey! Hey! Excusez-moi, pero que le fuck? Huh. I'm reading your guys' chats, by the way. I'm just processing right now. People in the video that I saw were saying that they accidentally did it on other creatures too, so I want to see if this works on Rex. No, it does not. Only RG's, no other tame. Well, you know, it's worth trying out, you know? No, no other creatures have RG buff. RG buff is specific to RG. "26 shots with crossbow. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. He's not torpor running. 17, 18. So he's fear running right now. That's a problem because I cannot tranquilize him while he's fear running. Because I need him to have that buff when he goes unconscious. Okay. Okay, now he's torpor running, I think. Because that was very short-lived aggression. Yeah, and he's pretty high. But you see, I think the buff is already gone. Yeah, the buff's already gone. Crossbow isn't going to be fast enough. Because he has to get the buff before he goes unconscious. So I don't think I can do it. At least not with a high level RG. So here's the dilemma, right? So I've got bird, right? Bird requires... Why did I select? Bird requires healing buff, right? The problem with this is that the buff only lasts like 15 seconds, right? Bro is not pirate software. I know I'm not. It's very obvious. But he needs to have the 15 second buff, right? Ah, frick. I forget what torpor running is. Thank you so much. Let me look up. Hold on. Let me pause my game because I don't want to accidentally die while I'm freaking MS painting. Let's go torpor or torpidity, I guess. It might say on the wiki. Run. Nope. Torpor decay. Notes. No. I want to see torpor running. Does the wiki say anything about torpor running? Or even like a percentage? Torpidity goes down over time. The attacks of torpidity have short acting attacks and extended effect attacks. Does the wiki say anything about torpor running? It does not. Okay, so let's just say torpor running starts at 80%. Okay, so 80% equals running away. So if the torpor start, or if I get the buff exactly at 80%, right? If I somehow get the buff at exactly 80%, if it takes... How do I... If X is the amount of time that it takes to go from 80, x equals 80% to 100%. I know this is horrible, but if it takes, or if x is 80% to 100%, if x is greater than 15 seconds, it is untamable. That's basically the problem with this. Now, x is determined by the level of the RG, the level of my little bird here. The level of bird. So, higher level makes this more impossible. Does that make sense? I understand this is just scratchings on a wall, like a caveman, but does this make sense? That's why I'm saying a primitive crossbow probably won't work. Is because if torpor running starts at 80%, and X is the torpor difference between 80% and 100% unconscious, if that distance takes longer than 15 seconds to reach, it is impossible. Because by the time he wakes up, by the time he goes to sleep, the buff is gone, because the buff only lasts 15 seconds. That's the gist of it. I don't know if this makes sense. I know I'm not Pirate Software. I don't have good art in paint. But that's like the general idea. I always draw things out, even when I'm by myself, because it helps me visualize. That's the problem. Is there a way to do it? Maybe. But I don't think there is. Not with a level 150. Now, if it were a lower level, maybe. But higher level, no. No chance in hell. Well, hey there, inordinary guy. Welcome to the stream, dude. You will come to find out that I am not an ordinary guy. You'll come to find that very shortly. But welcome to the stream, dude. I hope you enjoy it. We just playing hardcore ARK. Fiber. Oh, did I make my pestle mortar? Yes, I did. Anyways, to go back to what you were saying, Xander, I'm sure it will not work with a primitive crossbow unless it's a lower level creature. But yes, if a creature is low level, that is definitely a possible strategy for instantly taming them. However, and this is an absolutely huge caveat, right? Like, absolutely big. Okay? Let me just pull up Dodo Dex to confirm this. Let's say it's like a level 50, right? And a level 50 is, let's say level 50 is the highest I can go while still using that strategy. Okay? A level 50 Argentavis takes 11 raw prime meat to tame. Or 5 raw prime meat to tame, 11 minutes to tame. I feel like trying to prepare to do that glitch will take me more than 11 minutes. And this isn't necessarily, it's not a speed run is the thing. Like, yes, it would be faster, but I have no reason to be faster, if I'm being completely honest with you. Like, why would I, in that scenario, try to be faster? If I were doing a speed run, 100%. That is a very useful trick to know, and I might actually play around with it, because if I can get it down, then I'm sure it would be super handy. But for this specific playthrough, yes, I could do the Explorer Note run. But I have absolutely no reason to do an instant tame method on an RG. Especially a low-level RG. I have no reason. There's Tinks and Sklip. Why did I just eat spoiled meat? But yeah, dude, I'm always happy to be wrong. Especially when it benefits me. But I'm not seeing where being wrong in this scenario and that... Like, it is a neat trick, but I don't see that being useful. If I were taming a high level one, probably. But at the moment, where I'm probably just taming a low level one and sticking to it... Oh, shoot. And sticking to a low level one, I have no... I don't really know why I would. But I'm really curious as to how that works, because the food is completely unrelated to that. Like, if you have a tamed creature, that buff doesn't drain their food. A tamed RG does not have their food drained when they have the buff. So I'm kind of confused as to how one causes the other. Maybe I'm missing something. Hmm. I'll do some more experimentation in a test world when I'm not streaming. I wanted to see if it worked on stream. But in terms of testing to see how I can possibly make it work for me, I don't want to spend this stream that's supposed to be episode 1 of me making progress not making progress. I do agree that an Explore Note run can be good, but honestly, an Explore Note run doesn't get me very far, especially if I'm not progressing in some ways toward, you know, building up everything I need. Like a smithy, refining forge, all that kind of stuff. And RGs are really good, but you don't need to instant tame them for it to be an even more viable option. They're pretty easy to tame as is. And yes, it takes a while, but the longer taming time, it doesn't waste that much time. It's just slightly more dangerous because the RG could die. But that's what the trap is for, and from there you could just put spike walls around it. That is really cool. I will say you were right. I want to figure out a way to make that, like, useful for me. It is definitely a useful thing to know, but it's just not useful for me right now. Actually, I need hide. I wish it was, though. That would be really cool. Why am I doing this? Oh, geez. Yikes, that was bad. I'm just trying to get myself killed. Oh, Stegos aren't racist anymore. Dang it. Stegos used to be racist. If you attack a tech Stego, none of the other Stegos would come to help the tech Stego. None of the regular ones would. Or if you attacked a regular one, tech Stegos wouldn't come to the rescue. But I guess that's been changed since. Knock out the tech. I don't really want the tech one, honestly. Courage, welcome to the stream, dude. Wait, what? Yeah, you did kind of join when I was talking about tech Stego racism. Is it racism? Or is that all those like memes that I've been seeing lately of like cyberphobic, where people are like being racist towards AI in the future or something stupid. Bro, did I die again? Okay, listen. This time it wasn't my fault, okay? I swear it was not my fault. In fact, I had a lot of people telling me to just go ahead and cheat in my stuff again because it was not my fault. I only say that to prove my point. Nah, man, I'm gonna die. Don't die, Karash. Please, dude. Please. Please. Also, Xander, I noticed you said KO the tech. I don't have any reason to tame a Stegosaurus. I've already got 2 herbivores. That's more than I ever need. I could have never watched yesterday's stream as too much shit happened in my life yesterday. All of it was bad or rather worse. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. Really sorry to hear that. No, the basically what happened was I was flying around on my RG. I was doing the final Rex leveling before. So just tell me real quick how I died. I'm telling you right now. It's funny that you say that right as I start explaining. But I was flying around on my RG. Well, no, I was doing my Rex leveling. And I finally finished. So I hopped on my RG and I flew over to an obelisk to start letting them out so that way I could do the boss fight. Well, as I'm letting them out, I did part of the Rex leveling over by Red Obelisk. So while I was at Red Obelisk, I was like, wait, let me just upload them. So that way I can download them at Green Obelisk and bypass some of the cryo cooldown. So I go to Green Obelisk after uploading some. It was only 2 Rexes. I go back to Green Obelisk. I open the terminal. And I click download creature. And my game crashes. I'm like, well, shoot. That really sucks. Because now I've got to load it back in. So I load it back in. And guess where I loaded in? 100 feet in the air. Flying to Green Obelisk. It could have saved at any point during my Rex leveling. It decided to save right at the end when I was flying to Green Obelisk. I did all the 16 that I had back to back. It took me 2.5 hours to get most of them done. And it decided that it would revert me back to just as I was leaving. And I just so happened to be flying. And that's how I lost everything. So now that you're all caught up, yeah, I started new. I made some decent progress. And then I got myself killed by an Alpha Raptor and a Spino. because I thought I could kill them with a level 20 trike. And now I'm here. So welcome to the stream, dude. I know you keep saying that I'm allergic to Ascension, but it's not that, I promise. I don't have enough hide, really? Jeez. I realized after the fact that I kind of dragged out that story of how I died, and in your message asking me to tell you how I died, you said, so just tell me real quick how you died, like super quick. The way that you say that kind of implies that maybe you didn't have a lot of time. So maybe you didn't hear the whole thing. And if that is the case, I do apologize. That's a horrible place to leave off. Oh no, he's here. So just like me, you also died of a glitch, but just how I always blame myself that I could have grabbed the artifact or left, or maybe just have encountered the two somewhere strategically. Similarly, while you may blame the glitch, you might also blame yourself for not having the survivor foresight to keep parachutes with you. Well, I had parachutes with me. The difference was I didn't have them in my hotbar. Which I had a lot of problems with doing that. And I didn't really do anything about it. So to some extent, I would say that, yeah, it was my fault. Well, I wouldn't say it's my fault. It definitely was not my fault. But were there things that I could have done to reduce that possibility? 100%. And even though I could have, you know, cheated everything and gone back, I feel like I was going to. I was really, like, I had even, like, spawned in a new character and I was ready to do it. But it didn't feel right. Because I want to beat the game despite however it is. Not to necessarily prove that I can do it, but to prove that I can do it despite ARK being ARK. Because I already used this example, but just like how I don't like using gamma for nighttime because nighttime is a part of the survivor experience. It's part of the ARK experience. I believe that the bugginess is unfortunately a part of the ARK experience as well. And so to take that away is to kind of take away part of what makes this game ARK, even if that is a really stupid thing that it has. That's the bad thing about ARK. You rarely get to 100% blame the game. It could be 99.9, but not 100. Exactly. Or maybe you could have kept a grappling hook. I did keep a grappling hook as well, actually, just not equipped to my crossbow. I had a parachute. I had a crossbow. But know how I said 100 feet in the air? It was basically just high enough for me to die, not enough to really process what was going on. If you even, like, go back, I was in denial, like, the very second that it happened. I was I had typed in the God command, and I had clicked enter. I did this. I don't know if it's probably hard to see, but I did GOD, and then I hit forward slash. No, that's backslash. I hit backslash and then enter on accident, and so the command didn't go through. I was ready to move on, or I was ready to cheat in that moment to just say no to ARK trying to screw me over. But even if I had survived by typing it incorrectly, I wouldn't be happy with it. I gave myself a new character, did add experience to get me right back to that same spot. Wasn't happy with it. Even if I had somehow gotten all the way to Genesis 2 and 1, like, yeah, it's an accomplishment, but I wouldn't be happy. I am going to survive no matter what ARK does to me. And there's no amount of BS that ARK will pull that will make me want to stop doing this. I might need a good break after ARK, or after the hardcore from ARK, to just, like, chillax. I could even play other games on stream. That would be pretty fun, actually. But, yeah. Nothing's gonna stop me from continuing to throw my head against this wall until it's done. Of course, now I'm cold. Pro was ready, but not ready at the same time. Exactly. I had everything that I needed in that moment to survive, but just not the time that I needed to actually execute my survival. I was, however, taught a new little trick that's pretty dang cool. I don't know how the heck it works, but basically, if you tranquilize an RG while it has its special buff on from eating a corpse, if you tranquilize it while it has that, as long as it has that and it's unconscious, its food will rapidly decrease. And so if you get it to eat a corpse right before it torpor runs, and then you can tranquilize it before and you get it unconscious before it even runs out, which there's not a lot of window, and it's only like a 15-second buff. But if you can do that, for as long as the creature has the buff, it'll drain its sorry, I'm yawning. But it will drain its food super fast, which I think is really cool. And dude, I was so freaking confident telling the dude, Xander, he's the dude who told me about it. I was so confident saying, no, that don't work. No, that doesn't even make sense. And even like going as far as to explain the mechanics as far as I knew them. And then YouTube told me that it was possible, so I went to a testing world to try it out myself because I believed in that moment that it was probably just clickbait and not actually true. But lo and behold, it does actually work. Oh, scorpion. Come get the Kentro. Wait, what the flip? Why are you guys Oh. That is a high-level scorpion. If I get one more, I can make a pike, and a pike is going to be way better at killing this guy than my bow. There we go. Now we can throw away that spear. Perfect timing, actually. This is also another easy way to kill a creature with the amount of movement speed that I have. I'm going to drag him over here, and I'm going to wait until I have my metal hatchet before I harvest that body. I can't drag him. Can't, however, take those. Did the scorpion have anything, actually? No, he did not. That's okay. I don't like it when you levitate. Please don't do that. I know it doesn't give me much more, but still a noticeable difference when you're as broke as I am at this point in the game. Sword and sickle. Sickle's awesome. I need to make me one as soon as I can. Bet I'm gonna set right here. I got 2 minutes. I don't like how my character's slowly shifting into the fire. At least he's going around it. You guys notice that too? Like, look at how much I'm wandering. Oh. I really don't like how rafts kind of push you around in this game. It's weird. Okay. Need more wood, more fiber. It's a lot of dimorphs. 3 of them in one area. It's actually quite a bit. Anyways, it's been 3 hours, 10 minutes. That's where I'm going to wrap this up for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know it's kind of been high highs, low lows. But hey, we're making progress. And eventually we're going to, we're gonna beat this. It's going to be a good time. But one step at a time. One little baby steps. One by one. And anytime I die, getting back into it, baby steps one by one. Just really big baby steps, because I don't want to be here any longer than I have to be. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the stream, please leave a like. It really does mean a lot. Consider subscribing if you'd like to see more of this kind of garbage. Ring that little bell if you're interested. If you're watching the VOD after the fact, do leave a comment. I love reading your guys' comments. But yeah. I'm yawning, sorry. Hopefully you guys had a good time. I had a good time. I will see you on the next one. I almost forgot to say. Have a good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Because that is a real danger. Bed bugs are a very serious danger. So don't let them bite. Anyways. Frick. Can you not lay down? You can't lay down when you're crouching. That's weird. Anyways. Have a good night, y'all. Take care.